If you're in IT, you know the feeling. It's like trying to conduct an orchestra in the middle of a hurricane. Well, today we're going to dive into a tool designed to bring a little calm to that storm, the NetOps Virtual Appliance, or NetOpsVA. The whole idea is to create one central hub for all your network tasks, so you can stop juggling a dozen different tools and get everything under one roof.
Does this look familiar? It's that feeling, right? You're just swimming in a sea of alerts and data, and your entire day is spent stamping out one fire after another instead of actually moving things forward. You're always chasing clarity but just getting more noise. The goal is to flip that script, to go from being reactive to being proactive.
And that's exactly where a platform like NetOpsVA is meant to step in. It's designed to be that central nervous system for your operations, pulling all the disparate pieces together into one place. It's all about bringing a sense of order and, honestly, a sense of control to what can feel like an impossibly complex environment.
All right, so here's how we're going to break it all down. First, we'll talk about getting total visibility into your network. Then, we'll see how that lets you be proactive about health and security. After that, we'll get into automated management and control, and how that all plugs into IT service management. And finally, we'll wrap it all up by looking at the big picture, the unified advantage.
So let's kick things off with Section 1, Gaining Total Network Visibility. This is the bedrock of everything else. It's so simple, but so true. You absolutely cannot manage what you don't know about.
So how do you even begin to find out what's on your network? Well, a discovery wizard goes to work using those fundamental Layer 2 and 3 protocols we all know, CDP, LLDP, OSPF, to automatically map out your entire infrastructure. But this isn't just some static diagram. You get a live, dynamic topology map. You can literally hover your mouse over a link and see real-time bandwidth usage, or just right-click a device to pop open a command line. The info you need is right there, no digging required.
Now, seeing your devices is one thing, but you really need to understand the traffic flowing between them, and that's where something like Cisco's NetFlow is a game changer. One of the first things you look at are the top talkers, which devices are just chatting up a storm. This is huge for performance, but it's also a fantastic early warning system. Think about it. If some quiet workstation suddenly becomes the loudest talker on your network, that could be a sign of a misconfiguration, or it could be malware calling home.
Next, you can break it down by the top protocols. This tells you what kind of traffic is hogging your bandwidth. Is it TCP, UDP, something else? Knowing this is so important for planning. A big spike in UDP might just be a bunch of people streaming video, or it could be a DNS amplification attack in progress. This view helps you connect the dots. And finally, you can see the top conversations. This shows you which pairs of devices are talking to each other the most. It's great for optimizing specific application workflows, but from a security perspective, it's gold. If you suddenly see a massive amount of traffic between a web server and a database that barely ever talk, well, that's a huge red flag. It's like catching a suspicious conversation happening in a digital back alley.
Okay, so all this amazing visibility leads us right into our second section, proactive health and security. This is where we make that critical shift from just seeing what's happening to actually getting ahead of it, moving from putting out fires to preventing them in the first place. I love this analogy. Think of the platform's health check feature as a routine physical for your network. It's constantly taking its pulse, checking its vitals, things like CPU and memory loads, the temperature of your devices, port errors. It's basically running through a massive checklist of all the common things that can go wrong so you can spot them before they turn into a real emergency.
And how does it get all this sensitive data securely? Well, it uses SNMP3. The key difference from older versions is that V3 adds encryption and authentication. It's exactly like sending your most sensitive info in a locked box. No one can eavesdrop on your management traffic or try to tamper with it. It's absolutely crucial for security. Now let's talk about something that makes every network admin groan: compliance audits. The old way is just brutal. It's slow, it takes a ton of manual work, and it's so easy to make a mistake. By automating something like DISA STIG inspections, you completely change the game. A process that used to take weeks of painful manual validation can now be done in a matter of hours, and you get a clean, prioritized list of exactly what you need to fix.
This leads us perfectly into Section 3, Automated Management and Control. Okay, so you can see everything, you know it's healthy, now what? Now it's time to take firm, confident control over how every device on your network is configured.
So what happens when a change goes south? We've all been there, that sinking feeling in your stomach. Well, a configuration rollback feature is your network's ultimate undo button. A single bad change that could normally bring down a service for hours can be reversed in just minutes. You can instantly restore a device to its last known good state and get everyone out of crisis mode.
Here's another absolute lifesaver, the Config Compare tool. I mean, back in the day, you might have had to literally print out 2 config files and hold them up to the light to find what changed. This tool does that automatically, instantly highlighting every single difference between a device's current config and a trusted backup or baseline. The hours this saves is one thing, but the errors it prevents, that's priceless.
And for the really big jobs, you've got automation with Ansible. Now, what's so powerful here isn't just Ansible itself. It's the secure web interface that sits on top of it. It means you don't have to be a command line wizard to run powerful automations. A junior team member can just pick a pre-approved playbook, think of it as a recipe, select the devices it needs to run on, and then click one button to execute. It's a safe, controlled way to handle massive changes. All right. Let's move on to Section 4. A network doesn't run in a vacuum, right? It's all about managing the people, the processes, and the projects that support it. This is where integrated IT service management comes in.
Change is constant, but it doesn't have to be chaotic. A good platform enforces a structured process. It all starts with a formal request. Then comes the critical evaluation phase. I like to call this the pre-flight check, where you assess all the risks. Only after it gets formal approval from everyone involved is the change scheduled and carefully implemented. This structured approach is what prevents one small change from causing a massive cascading failure.
And what about when a user has a problem? A complaint management system makes that whole process smoother. You can capture all the key details right away, even device serial numbers, to speed things up. You can automatically route the ticket to the right team based on how serious it is. Users can attach screenshots to show you exactly what they're seeing. And maybe most importantly, you build up a knowledge base. You're not just closing tickets. You're turning a potential crisis into a chance to show your users you've got their back.
And that brings us to our final section, the grand finale, the unified advantage. This is where we tie it all together. What is the real, core benefit of doing all of this from a single platform? Well, it's about becoming the conductor of your operational orchestra. I want you to really let this sink in. Think of your organization as an orchestra. All the individual tasks your team does, those are the musicians. Your company policies and procedures, that's the sheet music they all follow. And a platform like NetOpsVA, well, that's the conductor. It's the one thing making sure everyone is playing in time, in tune, and in harmony. It turns what could be chaotic noise into a cohesive performance.
So let's end with this one final thought. Your operations are complex. That's a given. It's not going to change. The real question you need to ask yourself is this. Is the platform you're using to manage that complexity actually making it simpler? Or is it just adding another layer of complexity? Is your tool a conductor, or is it just another instrument making noise in the chaos? And that's something worth thinking about.